On behalf of the ODIs of California, we welcome you all to the 53rd OSA Convention being held for the very first time in the city of Sacramento. My name is Prasad Mohapatra and I'm a resident of Davis, California. Co-hosting with me is my wife, Pallavi.
Namaskar. A very warm welcome to each and every one of you. Those of you who have been with OSA for a long time and those who are new. Our mutual passion and love for Odisha has brought us all together. The energy that we create as a group, the different initiatives through planned activities and special events has allowed us to join hands to achieve our individual and group goals and work together towards building a stronger Odia community outside of Odisha.
This annual convention provides an opportunity for us Odias in the US and Canada to mingle and share our experience, enjoy ethnic food, and build lifelong friendships. OSA has and continues to bridge relationship that is Samparka Setu, which is also the theme of this year's convention. Let us all cherish and cultivate the theme not only for the next 2 days, but forever.
We will begin the inaugural program with the traditional lamp lighting ceremony. Lighting the lamp is an invocation to Ma Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, and Jangannath Mahaprabhu. Let us all pray that the brightness of education overcomes the darkness of divisions, injustice, and aggression in society, and leads us to growth, equality, and liberty. I'd like to invite our esteemed guests to join us on stage to offer flowers to Jagannath Mahaprabhu.
Swami and all the great sages try to instill into the Hindu side that there has to be an intermediary between God and man. In contrast to our conviction, we are created to this is your place.
thanks to our esteemed guests, I would now like to invite Neeta Ganapathi to the stage to recite the Shanti mantras. This mantra is a prayer for peace and harmony. It is said to bring peace on the physical, emotional, and spiritual level, and as well as cosmic peace to the entire world.
Namaskar. We'll start with invoking Lord Ganesha's blessings to remove any internal resistance and external obstacles to the auspicious beginning and successful completion of the 53rd OSA Convention. Shrim Hrim Klim Glam Gam Ganapathi Varavarada Sarvajanam Me Vashamanaya Swaha. Now we'll do the traditional Shanti mantra for the protection, nourishment, vitality and enlightenment of all the attendants and participants. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vedvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we will pray to invoke the blessings of all the celestial bodies and cosmic energies. Brahma Murari Tripurantakari Bhanu Sashi Bhumi Suto Buddhascha Guruscha Shukraha Shanirahu Ketavaha Guruvante Sarve Mama Suprabhatam. Salutations to Brahma, the energy of creation, Murari, the energy of sustenance, and Shiva, the energy of dissolution. Salutations to the Sun, Moon, Mars, Mercury, and salutations to Jupiter, Venus, Saturn, North and South nodes. May all the planets help us go forth well at the start of this convention. And now we will end with an Mangalam prayer. Om Bhumi Mangalam, may there be peace on earth. Udaga Mangalam, may there be peace in the waters. Agni Mangalam, may there be peace in the fire. Vayu Mangalam, may there be peace in the wind. Gagana Mangalam, may there be peace in the sky. Surya Mangalam, may there be peace in the sun. Chandra Mangalam, may there be peace in the moon. Jagat Mangalam, may there be peace in our earth plane. Jiva Mangalam, may there be peace in all living beings. Deha Mangalam, may there be peace in the body. Mano Mangalam, may there be peace in the mind. Atma Mangalam, may there be peace in the soul. Sarva Mangalam Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. Sarva Mangalam Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. Sarva Mangalam Bhavatu Bhavatu Bhavatu. May there be peace and tranquility in all of creations. Thank you and namaskar.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we request you all to please rise for the presentation of the national anthems of the United States of America, Canada, and India. Please welcome Aliva Panigrahi, who will sing the US National Anthem, followed by Adya Patnaik, who will lead the Canadian National Anthem, and finally Suraj Patnaik, who will lead the National Anthem of India.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? You did it a few minutes ago, it's fine. You got it, you got it. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing heart we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand our guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand our guard for
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाए तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी वन्दे उत्कल जननी
Thank you. Please be seated. Convention organization is a long, complex and arduous task. Leading a group of more than 200 volunteers, our convener Rudrakara and Sitikanta Panigrahi exhibited remarkable leadership and partnership to bring us to this stage. Please join me in welcoming our fearless leaders, Rudrakara and Sitikanta Panigrahi.
On karo. Hello. 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 Mic on karo. On karo. Switch on karo. Yeah.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ
ନମସ୍କାର।
ନମସ୍କାର ମୁଁ ସିତିକାନ୍ତ ପାଣିଗ୍ରାହୀ
ମୁଁ ହେଉଛି ରୁଦ୍ରାକର।
ଆପଣମାନଙ୍କୁ 53ତମ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ସୋସାଇଟି ଅଫ୍ ଆମେରିକାକୁ କନଭେନସନକୁ ସ୍ୱାଗତ କରୁଛୁ। We welcome you all to this 53rd OSA convention, to this Golden State, California, and the capital city, Sacramento. Not far away from here, we have made the history here, Gold Rush, just few miles away. This is that historic place where we are hosting this convention. And the overarching goal of this convention was inclusiveness. And part of that, our theme was Samparka Setu, a bridge to connect. Bridge to connect, to integrate multiple generation of ODIs living here in the US, Canada, and also connect with ODIs across the globe, even from India, through our culture, heritage, language, and of course food too. And that's why even all generation, all segments, we are all together, and our programs are designed again based on Samparka Setu.
First of all, Samastaka Namaskar and welcome. We are blessed to have Swamiji and very significant dignitaries amongst us. We are very happy about that. So let me talk a little bit about some high-level goals and objectives we set for ourselves as the convention team and as conveners. As you know, due to COVID, we had 2 years lapse in face-to-face convention, some hybrid, we canceled one. And also in California, we are hosting the convention after 12 years. Last one we had in 2020, Barabar Satale. So because of that, when we embarked on this convention, we set some high-level goals for ourselves. One is to, because it's the first face-to-face convention, we want to make it a memorable experience for all of you. In addition to that, one of the goals we had was to find a suitable venue that can cater to a large crowd of our attendees. And in terms of our internal team goals, we set some priorities to focus on hospitality, make you all welcome in this venue, to have good food, and also have a good cultural program to provide you enough entertainment, as well as enough of seminars to make it a stimulating intellectual experience for all of you. So we hope we tried our best to achieve it, and if we fell short, please apologize.
Also, while we faced daunting tasks, many hurdles to overcome, but our volunteers' excitement was at its peak. We tried to bring a lot of newness to this convention while maintaining the legacy of it. For example, this convention, we collaborated, partnered with Tarang Plus and ODI entertainment company, where they sponsored tonight's entertainment program, Rang Tarang. We are going to showcase Odia celebrity artists, singers, comedians. They are going to bring the Odia culture to here, to this convention. We also tried to bring some kind of stimulating seminars, topics. For example, again, the journey through space, astronaut Steve Robinson. Anything. When it comes to California, it's the wine country. We want to bring that art of winemaking, wine tasting by Professor Waterhouse, and also another first female Indian winemaker from Napa. And we also wanted to bring a lot of, for our other generation, like hackathon and different kind of new program to this to make it memorable experience for all our attendees.
Yeah, let me speak a little bit about some of the challenges as conveners and as the convention team we faced and how we overcome them. One of the first challenges, we had a late start. Most conventions have at least 1 year plus for planning and organizing. We started about 8 months ago, so it was a daunting task to plan this large event in a short time. Another challenge is the high cost of California. And on top of that, with the COVID and supply chain constraints, prices have gone up tremendously. If you look at the venue expense, the food, the plating charge, all these things are unprecedented cost compared to any other venue in the rest of the country. Because of that, one of the goals we set for ourselves as the convention team is to really focus on fundraising to defray some of these high costs. And I am happy to announce that we hit the goal of $1 million due to generous donations. Due to generous donations from many, many individual donors, almost 150 of them, and also generous donations and sponsorship from small businesses, exhibitors, and folks like that. To give you some perspective, out of the $1 million fundraising we achieved, almost 3/4, 750K, was raised through individual donors, and the other 250K was mostly through business sponsors. And give you some perspective, the overall budget for this whole convention is between 1.1 and 1.2 million. So more than 80% of the cost was addressed by the substantial and generous donation by individual donors and the business sponsors. Other challenge we had, 80%, 90% of the volunteers are all from Behera. Even though this venue was the most suitable for our needs, it's a nice complex with hotels and auditorium and convention center. It's probably one of the best in class venue. But Sacramento is still 2.5 hours drive from Behera. So logistically, it was a big challenge because we had to hire 5, 6, large vans and trucks to move everything from Behera to here and organize everything else. So that was a logistical challenge. But thanks to the passionate and dedicated volunteers teams we have, we managed to do all that stuff fairly well.
That's exactly, it's not the money, it's the time and effort. All our volunteers and and their families, we truly, sincerely thank you from our bottom of our heart. Yeah. Also, we want to thank all our dignitaries today who come here all the way to grace this occasion. Thank you all. And also, I want to thank you all attendees for coming here. I know there are challenges here, but you came with all your excitement, and we want to live up to that expectation. But before that, we also apologize for any inconvenience.
So let me repeat again. We really sincerely thank all the individual donors and sponsors. Without your generous contribution, this event would not have been possible. Also, we want to thank all of you attendees for joining us and making it a memorable experience for all of us. We tried our best to set high goals for ourselves, high standards. If we fell short, please forgive us. We are learning from our mistakes. For example, last night we had some logistical challenges and we try to learn from that. And so again, please forgive us if we fall short in any of our goals and objectives.
Thank you all. Hope you enjoy this convention next 2 days. Let's make it a memorable convention for everyone. That's the spirit.
Yeah. Long live OSA.
Long live OSA.
Many thanks to our conveners. OSA was established in 1969 by a few visionary Odiyas who thought of establishing Odiya identity in the adopted land. The society was incorporated in 1981 in Tennessee as a non-profit corporation for promoting activities for a better understanding of Odiya culture and exchange of information between Odisha, United States, and Canada. OSA is grateful to the dedicated leadership it has received from its past presidents. OSA stands strong today because of the tireless efforts to support the mission, vision, goals, and its members. I'd like to take this opportunity and invite Patnaik, the current OSA president, to the stage to address us.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय ओम शांति शांति शांति। आज्ञा मो ना ज्ञान पट्टनायक ओडिशा सोसाइटी सभापति आपण मान समस्त को प्रणाम करुछि। वरेण्य मुख्य वक्ता स्वामी मुकुंदानंद जी, मान्यवर मेयर ऑफ सैक्रामेंटो, सम्मानीय डेप्यूटी कंसुलेट जनरल, उपस्थित सम्मानीय अतिथिवृंद, प्रिय कन्वेनर श्री रुद्रकर, श्री सीतिकंठ पाणिग्राही, कन्वेंशन कर्मकर्ता बंदे, स्वेच्छासेवक, ओडिशा सोसाइटी कैलिफोर्निया चैप्टर सभापति श्रीमती दीप्ति मलिक एवं कर्मकर्ता माने, पूजनीय गुरुजन माने, उपस्थित श्रुति जनता, भाई भौणी एवं बंधुगण, समस्त नमस्कार। आज आम अति खुशीर विषय जे 53तम ओडिशा सोसाइटी अधिवेशन गोल्डन स्टेट कैलिफोर्निया राजधानी सैक्रामेंटो सहर में महासमारोह आम आज पालन करुचे। आपण मानक समस्त गोटे प्रणिधान विषय मु अवगत करने को चाहूँगी जे ओडिशा बाहर ये बृहत 1500 रु 2000 लोक को नहीं श्रृंखलित भाव में आनुष्ठानिक भाव में ये संगठन 3 दिन धरिक करवा यह हूँ अद्वितीय। ओडिशा बाहर आपड़ ये देखिपारे जहाँ आपड़ उत्तर अमेरिका देखुं से मु समस्त के धन्यवाद दूसरी। आज मोर वक्तव्य मु 5टी जिनस कहि आपण मानकु। प्रथम कथा स्वल्प समय भितर आपण माने देखंतु आमर कैलिफोर्निया चैप्टर अंडर लीडरशिप रुद्रबाबू सेतिकंठ एवं 200 वॉलंटियर स्वेच्छासेवी केमती काम करिसंती। सबुबले कन्वेंशन करिया को हेले गोटे वर्ष टीम नियंती काम करिया पे, किंतु ड्यू टू कोविड इश्यूज से मान पाखे एत समय नाला 8-9 मास भीतर समय भीतर देखंतु की टाइपर काम होती ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कृतज्ञ। द्वितीय कथा कहबी जे देखंतु नेतृत्वर केते प्रकार इन्फ्लुएंस रही अभूतपूर्व पांठी संग्रह ओडिशा इतिहास रे या लिपिबद्ध होइक रहिबो अनप्रेसिडेंटेड केबे घटिनी जो टाइपर कलेक्शन होइछि। सेतिपे आपण मानकर कैलिफोर्निया चैप्टर आपण मानकर सांग माने आपण मानकर बंधु स्पॉन्सर्स आपण माने जो प्रकार उद्यम करिसंती सेतिपे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन कृतज्ञ। तृतीय कथा कहबी जे आज देखंतु गोटे कन्वेंशन एटा होउछि कैलिफोर्निया रे अद्वितीय इन दिस सेंस जे आपण आज देखुचंती हमर नुआ सदस्य बेसी अछंती दान पुरुणा। कैलिफोर्निया रे जस्ट खबर पाइली जे हमर नुआ 500 नुआ ओडिशा सोसाइटी रा मेंबर हेइचंती ड्यूरिंग दिस कन्वेंशन। एथिपे धन्यवाद मु देवी चैप्टर प्रतिनिधि श्रीमती दीप्ति मलिक, श्रीमती रश्मिता बराल, श्री सुदाम मिश्र एवं श्री विद्याधर महापात्र एवं अन्यान्य समस्त वॉलंटियर जो माने साहाय्य करिसंती। चतुर्थ कथा कहबी जे आम भितर एक अभूतपूर्व समन्वय रखा होइछि ओडिशा सोसाइटी रा कर्मकर्ता माने एवं कन्वेंशन टीम जो माने काम करुचंती एभला एते संयोग मु डे 1 रु मो मन रे खुशी जे सब जिनस एते सुचारू रूप से चली। से मु कृतज्ञ ऑन बिहाफ ऑफ ओडिशा सोसाइटी ऑफ अमेरिका टू आवर कन्वेंशन टीम। शेष एति कहबी जे ओडिशा सोसाइटी हूँ आमर आम समस्त दायित्व रोचे ये ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सुदृढ़ करवा केमिति करवा आमर नेक्स्ट जेनरेशन आमे सेमानंकु आमर ओडिया रूट ओडिशा हेरिटेज ओडिया कल्चर आमे तांको प्रभावित करिया को पड़िबो आमको तांको उत्साहित करिया को पड़िबो तांको मनरे गोटे फीलिंग आसीबो एटा होची मोर सोसाइटी सेइथिपे आमे जदि न करबा ताहले आमर काम किछि सफल हेइ परिबनी। तेणु मु आपनमंको अनुरोध करूची आपण माने आमर नेक्स्ट जेनरेशन प्रोफेशनल एवं नूतन इमिग्रेंट माने जो माने देश को आसुचंती से मानकु प्रोत्साहन करंतु एनकरेज करंतु टू बी पार्ट ऑफ द कम्युनिटी। फल तांको मनरे प्रश्न आसीबनी काहे कि मु ओडिशा सोसाइटी मेंबर हेबी रादर से पचारे मु केबे मेंबर हेबी एते डेरी काहे सेइथिबे हमकु समस्त के उद्यम करिया को पड़िबो। एतिकी कहि मु आज मोर वक्तव्य शेष करूची। वंदे उत्कल जननी लॉन्ग लिव OSA।
Thank you, Ganapathi. He is always so inspiring for all of us. Next, we had scheduled Ambassador Dr. T.V. Nagendra Prasad, who is the Consul General of India in San Francisco. Because of some last-minute official commitments, he could not make it to join us today. Instead, we have the Deputy Consulate General Rajesh Naik with us today to address us. I would request Rajesh Naik to come to the podium. In the meantime, we will play a video message from Ambassador Dr. T.V. Nagendra Prasad.
Namaskar. Our greetings from the Consulate of India in San Francisco to Odisha Society for Americas. I want to congratulate and compliment you on celebrating, and then with a great theme that is Samparka Setu. It's now connecting the world, and we always feel that the Indian Americans are the live bridge for the relations between India and USA, and it is the 75th year of India's independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. We wish the Mr. Panigrahi and his entire team for a very successful event, because you are all including culture, handicrafts, business, everything, and then we hope this particular convention will also bring not only the people together but help in building bridges for developing trade and investments between India and US. Once again, congratulations and all the best for the event. Namaskar, Dhanyavad, Jai Hind.
Good morning and namaskar everyone. My name is Rajesh Naik. I'm the Deputy Consul General at the Indian Consulate in San Francisco. Thank you so much for this kind invitation. Our Consul General really wanted to be here, but unfortunately he had to stay back in San Francisco for an exigency, for an emergency meeting that just sprung up. Nevertheless, he shares his greetings, he shares his best wishes for this convention. We are delighted, on behalf of the Consulate, we are delighted to be with you. Odisha today is known for phenomenal achievement. Odisha today stands as a model state, be it in IT, be it in education, industry, or skill development. There's a lot Odisha has achieved which other states are emulating. And for this achievement of Odisha, a large credit should go to the Oriya diaspora. They are present outside Odisha as well. Whenever we interact with the Odia community, one thing that comes out very naturally is their connect and commitment for the motherland. This is something amazing. I have seen it in our interaction with the community. Our sincere request is that please remain connected with the motherland. Ensure that the next generation also remains connected with the motherland. In this process, if you need any help, any assistance, from the Consulate or from the Government of India or from the State Government Orissa, please let us know. We'll always be prepared to help you. We'll always be prepared to stand with you. Once again, dear friends, thank you so much for the kind invitation. I wish this convention all the very best. Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Naik. Now it is my distinct pleasure to invite the Mayor of the host city of Sacramento. Mayor Darrell Steinberg has served the people of Sacramento for more than 20 years. Since taking office in late 2016, he has guided the city through significant shifts in policy and spending to meet the changing needs and demand of the community. He is a champion in addressing diversity, mental health, and homelessness. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Mayor of Sacramento, Darrell Steinberg.
My friend Prasad, thank you so much for the warm introduction. As mayor of the city of Sacramento, it is my high honor to welcome the community from the United States, from all throughout the United States, from Canada, from other countries as I understand it, who represent the pride of India and the pride of Odisha. It is my honor because this is a city that prides itself on inclusion, on diversity, on welcoming immigrants. We paint a lot of murals in Sacramento, And I often say that the ethic of our city is that we paint walls to invite people in. We do not build walls to keep people out. I am very proud of the Indian American community in Sacramento. Thousands of people who have come here from India over the generations. We actually have 200 people from Odisha who live in Sacramento. We want to grow that number, by the way. We are grateful for the contribution that Indian Americans make in all sectors of our business and communal life. And your story, like the story of so many immigrants, has never been more important to tell. For we have, as you know, some challenges in our country and some challenges throughout the world. And I could talk about climate, and I could talk about poverty, and of course, it's hard to say that anything outranks those existential issues. But I think even the solution to those problems depend on the way we see our fellow human beings. Do we see people who come from different cultures and different countries as us? Or do we see people who come from other countries and other cultures as them? I know where I stand, and I know where the people of Sacramento stand. But it isn't so clear throughout so much of the country and so much of the world. As we see an increase in hate crimes in the state of California, as we see anti-immigrant fervor grow in some parts of the country. And so what you are doing here to build a bridge to connect California to Odisha is not to be underestimated as to its vital importance. Because what you are saying is we are going to embrace who we are. We are going to embrace our culture. We are going to teach about our history, our country, and our state. And we are going to always demand our full rights and respect as Americans or as Canadians or as any other country that you have come to. And that's a good and a great thing in 2022 in Sacramento, California. So welcome. May you have a great, great convention. May you come back annually to Sacramento. That's my pitch as the mayor, by the way. To our beautiful new community center theater, which just was completed within the last year. We started this building, by the way. The very first event was the story of a proud immigrant. You may have heard of him, Alexander Hamilton. And so for me, that was a great day and a great moment. Today is a great day as well because I get to welcome the people who span the generations back to Odisha, India. And I say, you are always welcome in our city. Have a wonderful, wonderful convention. Thank you very much, everybody. Oh my God. Do I get... Hello. you, everybody. Have a wonderful time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mayor Steinberg. We would now like to request Akshaya, the Vice President of OSA, to please come to the stage.
Hello, Namaskar, and a very good morning to you all. Welcome you all again to the 53rd OSA convention here at this beautiful convention center in Sacramento. On behalf of Odisha Society of America, I would like to introduce our chief guest of this function, Mr. Rajiv Misra. Mr. Misra is a globally renowned corporate leader who is the current CEO of SoftBank Investment Advisors, and he's leading a $200 billion SoftBank Vision Funds. Prior to that, he was the global co-head of securities, commodities at UBS, and he's one of the most reputed bankers coming from Odisha. Currently, he resides in London, United Kingdom, and he was supposed to be here in person to grace this occasion, but unfortunately, because of COVID, he got infected with COVID, and because of that, he had to cancel his travel plan. And he was really eagerly looking to come here and grace the occasion. And we feel sad that he won't be here, and we're going to miss his presence here today. Thank you all again, and enjoy the function here. Thank you.
We'll greatly miss Mr. Rajiv Mishra's presence at the convention, wishing him a speedy recovery. I'd now like to call upon Pramod Mohapatra, the Secretary of OSA, to please come to the stage to introduce the chief speaker. Mr. Pramod Mohapatra, if you could please come to the stage. Thank you.
Hello, Namaskar, and a very good morning to you all. On behalf of OSA community, and today I have a great pleasure to introduce and call upon to stage our chief speaker, Swamiji. So I'll just say a little bit about Swamiji. Anything to say about him is like showing candle to the sun. So he received a postgraduate degree from IIM Calcutta. Then he worked in big companies for some time. So before he became a sannyasi, then he left the career in the business to join the order of sannyasi, and dedicating his life, his time to the devotional pursuit, and traveled throughout India as sannyasi. Under the guidance of Guru Jagat Guru Sri Kripalu Maharaj Ji, who is lovingly called Maharaj Ji by his devotees, Mukundanan Ji studied the Vedic scriptures, Indian and Western philosophy, Bhakti Yoga. Kripal Maharaj Ji entrusted him with the key task of spreading Vedic knowledge around the globe. Today, Swamiji is joining to enlighten us with his speech, knowledgeable speech. So I welcome Swamiji to the stage.
Mannath Shri Jagannath Madguru Shri Jagadguru Madatma Sarvabhutatma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Divine souls, I feel extremely fortunate and privileged to be a part of this largest congregation of Uriyas outside of India. I have participated in thousands of programs in my life. But I would like to express my heartiest appreciation to the organizers of this convention for having conceived of it so intelligently and organized it with so much of enthusiasm and with such a fine vision. Let's give them all a big hand. We are all here today to celebrate the Odia culture, to connect with the roots from where you have come, to reinforce those values, and Sampark Setu, to establish bonds that will nourish and support each and every one of you in your journey ahead. What is culture? Some people tell me, Swamiji, whenever I go back to Odisha and I walk up those 22 stairs of the mandir, the moment I see Lord Jagannath, something happens to me. That is a value, a sentiment that is commonly shared. Culture is when a community of people develop some common reference points of what they hold as excellence in arts, in crafts, in philosophy, in ethics, in morals, in values. And these start getting passed down from generation to generation. That creates the culture of a community. Now, India in general is respected worldwide for its spiritual culture as the Jagat Guru of the world. I was once giving a lecture, a program in a temple in Dallas about 15 years ago. Between the yoga session and the pravachan, there was a half-an-hour gap. And I was sitting in a classroom in the educational center of that temple. In the next classroom, a Bal Vihar class was going on. I was able to hear the teacher was telling the students, why do we have to worship God? Why should we worship God? And then I heard a little voice saying, Indians have to worship God. That boy, he said, it's these Indian parents who keep on saying, worship God, but that is the culture of the land, and much more so in Odisha. It was 30 years ago that I first settled down in Odisha. And today we have got temples, ashrams, mandirs in over 30 cities of the state. So people ask me that, Swamiji, you were born in Uttar Pradesh, and why did you choose Odisha as your karma bhumi? And I said, although the people of Odisha at that time when I first came were not so economically opulent, but they had the biggest wealth. And that is the wealth of love for God, which I saw more in the state of Odisha than in my travels all around India. As Saint Kabir said, Kabira sab jag nirdhana, dhanvanta nahi koi, dhanvanta soi janiye, jahi prem dhan hoy. The person who is truly wealthy is one who is wealthy in love for God. So you have all come outside of your country, of your land. Some have been born here, seeking a good life, seeking a higher standard of living. And we are so happy, as the Honorable Mayor pointed out, that the Odia community, the Indian community, has offered so much to America and to Canada. If today Indians are the wealthiest immigrants in USA, it is not for no reason. It's because they are doctors, they are engineers, they are entrepreneurs, and they are making huge contributions to the land of America. And at the same time, we realize that standard of living is not everything. The quality of life is even more important. And that quality of life requires our spiritual nourishment. See, the cup holding coffee may be very attractive, but how tasty is the coffee, that will satisfy you, not the cup. So money, possessions, car, bungalows, everything is great. That is like the cup. But the coffee inside is the quality of your life. That requires nurturing yourself with spiritual knowledge. That spiritual knowledge, we all realize. The human form provides us with a golden opportunity to achieve it. Bhartri Hariji said, Ahar nidra bhayamai thunancha samanyame tat pashubhir naranam dharmo hitesha madhiko vishesho dharmena hina pashubhis samana. We may be eating from a silver plate, an animal eats from the floor. But the pleasure of eating that we get from Chappan Vyanjan, the animal also gets. We may sleep in very comfortable and luxurious beds, and creatures sleep on the bare earth. But the pleasure of sleeping, they also enjoy the same. We may have children. The animals have 4 and 6 children together at the same time. We protect ourselves with bank balances and insurance policies, and these creatures protect themselves with fangs, claws, teeth. But the act of defending is the same. So if in this human form we earn a lot of money just to do eating, sleeping, mating, and defending in a deluxe way, it does not justify our superior birth. The specialty for human beings is the ability to acquire divine knowledge. Why do we need this divine knowledge? We are all searching for happiness. It was in search of that happiness. Some came to Canada, some came to USA, some stayed back in India, and some came to the US and then returned back to Odisha. You ask them, why did you do that? You know, Swamiji, my old father and mother, they were not well. So I felt if I serve them, I will feel happy and satisfied. We are all looking for happiness. The question is, where is happiness and how will we find it? My proposition to you is, happiness comes from doing good things. One man, his wife from last 50 years had passed away, and he was extremely disturbed. In a state of depression, he went to a happiness counselor and said, I have not known happiness for the last few months. Can you please help me? The happiness counselor said, there is the maid who comes to clean our hospital. She seems like a very happy person. Let's go and ask her. So they called the maid over and said, what is the secret of your happiness? The maid said that 2 years ago, I was totally unhappy. My husband had died in a car accident, and my child had become a drug addict and also passed away. And I didn't know a moment of happiness. One day in my misery, I was walking back from the marketplace when a cat started following me. It continued until I reached my home. And then, feeling pity upon it, I walked into my house, poured some milk in a saucer and brought it and placed it for the cat. The cat lapped up the milk and then came and stood by my side and rubbed its back against my leg. And for the first time in 2 years, a smile appeared on my face. Then I started thinking, if doing a little good deed for this cat made me so happy, why don't I do a little more of it? I knew that my neighbor was not well. I baked a cake and took it for them. Then I knew that my other neighbor was blind. I went and did some shopping. And slowly, my happiness has kept on increasing. There are some things that don't decrease when you give them away. They only increase. Knowledge is one of them, and happiness is the other one. So yesterday, I happened to be a part of the Odisha development meeting that was going on. And it was so inspiring to see young and senior Odia people having so many schemes on how to bring up the land, their motherland. And then they were explaining why they are doing it. Well, you see, today what you are, to a great extent, it is a consequence of the culture in which you grew up. So there is a sense of gratitude towards that culture, that if you have achieved some measure of success, it was because of the way your parents brought you up, the learning that you acquired in your upbringing, and so on. That sense of gratitude is so important. There is, of course, physical heredity. The physical features of the parents, they come down to the children. But there is also social heredity. In America, they say that the son of a Republican is a Republican and the son of a Democrat is a Democrat. So likewise, whichever be your religion, most of you did not choose it. You were born into it. Likewise, the culture that nourished you, we have a debt towards it. And we would all like to see an extremely prosperous, extremely successful, and extremely victorious state of Odisha and Odisha community around the world. Why so? Because along with that prosperity will come the propagation of that culture. And there is so much that the Odia culture can offer to the rest of the world. Although devotion is common everywhere. People are worshipping God in some form or the other. But in Orissa, what I see, they make God their own friend. Jangannath is a member of my family. And when they work in the office, they have Jagannath ji right there. Oh Lord, whatever I am doing, it is by your grace and it is for your pleasure. Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhosi dadasi yat tapasyasi kaunteya tat kurushva mad arpanam. Sri Krishna said in the Gita, Arjun, whatever you do, make it sacred, make it divine. Do it as an offering to me. And then that becomes karma yoga. Now yoga is India's gift to the world. 1 out of 7 Americans is practicing yoga. But we have a deeper understanding of yoga. It comes from the Sanskrit root word yog, which means union. And that union of consciousness, while we are working in the world, becomes karma yoga. So, in that Jagannath Sanskriti, Jagannath ji is the friend, he is the master, he is the well-wisher, and the temple also has its significance. The moment you enter the temple, the first experience is of the gush of divine emotions on seeing the deity of the Lord. We all know that God is all-pervading. He is in every atom of His creation. We also know that He is sitting in our heart, and yet the hearts want to see Him, want to serve Him, and want to experience Him with all our senses. The temple permits us with that opportunity. And then we offer our pranam. When we do pranam, we humble our ego. And the moment we lower our ego, we make place for the grace of God. While in the temple, we strengthen our shraddha or faith, and then carry it outside the temple to see the whole world as the temple of God. Now, I'm very mindful of the limited time I have, but I cannot resist sharing one story from Jagannath Sanskriti. One villager, he had his first crop of watermelon, and he was bringing it from nearby village to Puri to sell it. And he reached the Singhdwar. When one Panditji, he was coming down the stairs, and he saw that. He thought, oh my God, such an attractive watermelon. I wish I can go and offer it to Lord Jagannath. So he asked the villager, how much for this? The villager said, Panditji, this is the first watermelon of the year. I will not charge anything less than 5 rupees. Panditji took it out. Okay, here I am giving it to you. In the meantime, a Pathan arrived. He had a prayasi, a beloved, and he thought, no, I should offer this to her. He said, wait, I'll give you 10 rupees. Let me have the watermelon. The villager said, I'm interested in money. Lo, take it. Panditji said, where did this man come from? I'll give you 20 rupees for the watermelon. The Pathan said, 50. Pandit said, 100. Pathan said 200. Panditji said 500. And the Pathan said 1,000. The villager was looking from side to side. Oh my God, I'm going to get 1,000. But Panditji said 2,000. And the Pathan said 5,000. Panditji said 10,000. Pathan said 20,000. Panditji said 25. Pathan said 50. Panditji said 1 lakh rupees. At that, the Pathan walked off. He wanted it in worldly love. That worldly love has a price. It is not invaluable. Panditji wanted it in love for Lord Jagannath. So the villager said, Maharaj, this watermelon is yours, but please satisfy my curiosity. Why are you going to buy it for 1 lakh rupees? Panditji said, I went to the rasoi of Lord Jangannath, where the Chappan Vyanjan was being prepared. There were many items, but there was no watermelon. And I saw you selling it. I got inspired that I should offer this. Now the Pathan came and kept on jacking up the price. I do have 1 lakh in my bank. I'll give you a check. The villager said, Acha, you want to take it, so you offer it to Lord Jangannath. In that case, I will not sell it to you. I will go and do this seva myself. He denied, rejected 1 lakh rupees for Bhagavat seva. Now, in that temple, for some time in the day, all darshanarthis are allowed entry into the Garbhagriha. So he took it, he cut it into 2. And the Jagannath Sanskriti says, when he walked in and placed it in front of Lord Jagannath, the mukut of the Lord fell down. Jagannath ji indicated, this watermelon which you have offered me worth 1 lakh, by rejecting 1 lakh, is so immensely valuable to me that there is nothing I have which I can give to you in return. So I am indebted to you. In this Sanskriti, the highest value is of love for the Lord. And in that love, we want to do the best we can do. Like that janitor in the hospital found happiness by serving others. And I am sure all of you can find various ways by which you can offer to your motherland. From our side, Dr. Das is here. He is the chairman of the Jagadguru Kripalu University, which is a humble project on 100 acres of land just outside of Nauraj, a little out of Cuttack. And the university is presently in the construction phase, and we are envisaging it to be a university that will be world class in the state of Odisha. So what I wanted to say was that we all want to be happy. And to be happy, we realized we need to do good. But how do you do good? It's not merely a material thing. The government can make structural arrangements. The government can make financial arrangements. But there is one vital element which is still necessary. And what is that? You need to have goodness within you. It is only when you become good that you can do good. So all of us intuitively love goodness because these are the divine virtues of God. And as little parts of God, we all naturally seek goodness. Nobody loves lies in this world. Even if somebody is a liar, you tell him a lie, he will feel bad. Why did you lie to me? Arey Baba, you lie yourself. That's all right, but I don't want anybody to lie to me. This is called honesty amongst thieves. See, where in the Mahabharata, when the chariot wheel of Karna got stuck in the mud, at that time Sri Krishna told Arjun that this is a good chance. His back is towards you. Shoot him in the back. When he has his chest, you won't be able to shoot him. And Karna heard Sri Krishna because Karna was born through the ear. His ears were powerful. He said, hey, Sri Krishna, in your Vedas you have explained Kshatriya Dharma, that don't shoot in the back. And you are teaching 400 BC, 420 to Arjun. What kind of Bhagavan are you? So Sri Krishna said, Kshatra Dharma Mavekshasva. Think, what is Kshatriya Dharma? And Sri Krishna responded, Karan, you love dharma? Then where was your dharma when the right of the Pandavas was being snatched away? Where was your dharma when Draupadi was being humiliated? Somebody who took the side of adharma is expecting dharma from us. He said, Kwa dharmaste tada gatah. Karan, what dharma did you follow at that time? So the point I'm making is somebody may be adharmi, but from others they want dharmic behavior. I may steal, but nobody should steal from me. One thief, he stole and came back home. He counted, wow, today I got something, huge treasure. And he went to sleep. At night, a thief entered his house and stole from the thief's house. So when the first thief woke up, he was extremely annoyed. Who is this? If I find him, I'll break his teeth, smash his head. Arey, why are you getting so annoyed? You are a thief yourself. You should be happy. There was one thief in the neighborhood, now there are two. Your party has doubled. No. I may steal, but I don't want anybody to steal from me. From others, we want kindness, we want goodness, we want justice, we want empathy, because these are the qualities of God. And that is the foundation of becoming good. So, you become good, then you will do good. And that is the way to feel good. So let this be the takeaway from today's short talk. Do good, be good, and feel good. I wish this convention huge success. Jai Jangannath.
Dr. Das will present the plaque to Swamiji. Thank you, Swamiji, for such an inspiring and enlightening talk. Just a reminder that Swamiji will be presenting again at 5:30 p.m. tonight in one of the seminars. I would now like to invite Prachi Behera, Treasurer of OSA, to the stage.
Hello, namaskar, juhar samastanku. Welcome to this convention. Like many of us today who were born in Odisha and traveled in search of success and adventure to many far-flung places, our next guest too made a journey like that, except he started out as a teenager. And he ventured far. Also, he did not do some of the things that he set out to do, like go to college, go to coaching classes. Instead, he authored a book and he founded a company, and then another. Today, he is recognized by Bloomberg Businessweek in the 50 list, CNBC as a Young Turk of the Year. He's awarded the Fortune in the Tycoons of Tomorrow, in the Economic Times as 40 under 40, as in the Forbes as 30 under 30. Mr. Ritesh Agrawal currently also serves as a FICCI Executive Committee member, CII National Council member, and board member of MDI Gurgaon, India. It is my honor and privilege today to introduce to you Mr. Ritesh Agrawal, the founder of OYO, not just because of all the things he has achieved so far, but because of all the things he will continue to achieve and inspire the young people and the young at heart among us. Mr. Ritesh Agrawal.
Namaskar. Jai Jangannath. I felt, it's fantastic that I get to come speak to all of you during Rath Yatra, but it's very hard to come and speak after this fantastic, speech by Swamiji. So much to learn from it. But I think I have, my own life learning, so I felt maybe I'll just share from a few experiences that I have had over the years, and I hope some of you will relate to some of it in today's discussion. Mo na Ritesh Agrawal. Mo janmo Bisamkotakre hoitila. How many of you know about Bisamkotak or have ever heard about it? Quite a few. Thank you. It's probably the biggest group I have ever seen which has heard about Bisamkotak in the first place. I try to speak about Bisamkotak and Rayagada in almost every conversation of mine, and my hope is just by that, enough people will get to know about my town. I was born and brought up in Bisamkotak and Rayagada in the southern half of Odisha. Within Odisha also, as you can imagine, Rayagada is relatively more rural and you find lesser people from there outside. But I think the first thing or the first story I wanted to share is a lot of times people end up complaining where they hail from or the family background or the people they are surrounded by. You may say, I come from Theruwali. Theruwali is a small town next to Rayagada. You may say, I come from JK-Pur, various little towns, right? And you may complain about it. And I have felt in the new world we live in, it doesn't matter where you come from. I came from Rayagada. My elder 3 siblings were Asian parents' dream. All 3 of them pursued engineering. I did not. My parents, in the early years, of course, thought I was a black sheep. But that said, I think, at all times, I never complained where I came from, nor did anyone else in the town I grew up in, because if you have seen nothing outside of Rayagada, you feel like that's the best place on earth. I thought Rayagada was as good as New York or anything else that comes by. Of course, until I saw different places around the world. But I just felt like the upbringing that I had, there was one takeaway that I felt would be valuable for a lot of young people here. I met a lot of youngsters, young Odia, potential entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs already. One of the things when you speak about the Odia community around the world that's very often talked about is simple living, high thinking. You might be very successful, you might be very wealthy. As Swamiji was saying, you may be pursuing deluxe form of defense and pursuing about your daily life. But the satisfaction of Pokhalo Hato in the afternoon is unparalleled no matter who you are. That goes for me as well. No matter which part of the world I am in, if it is summers, then I will get some rice, some lemons. If I can get some tamarind, that's even better. And try and make some Pokhalo Hato for myself. The reason I explain this is to share simple living and high thinking is a very crucial perspective of successful entrepreneurship because that's the world I understand. A lot of people say that I want to be an entrepreneur because I will never have a boss. There can be nothing far away from reality. If you're an entrepreneur, you have many bosses. Every customer is your boss because every customer hopes that you are responsible to give them a better service. Every business partner is your boss because they expect you to deliver a good outcome for them. Every shareholder is your boss because they feel like you're working, which is the right thing. Of course, they have appointed you to be able to do a good job for them. Of course, the board expects you to do a good job. So that you have many bosses around you. And the best way to be able to make sure that you can earn respect from everyone is working hard. That I don't think that there's a lot of complaint from the place where we come from. And the second is humility and gratitude. Knowing that you are successful because of the great work of so many people around you who create success. I don't think, if not for this value system, I'll tell you a story. When I was growing up, in the early years, there used to be, in classes, your parents expect you to always get the first, rank in numbers. So I sometimes mostly used to get second rank. So, one of these times I went to my mom and I said, I've gotten the second rank, and I was very proud about it. My mom was not very excited, as you can imagine. She said, you have to be the first rank, and more than that, you should never be proud. And, I'm of course explaining it in a much nicer way than I was explained to. And that remained with me all through my years, to say that whether you're second rank, whether you're the first rank, you should always be humble, otherwise mom's not going to be happy, because she always expects you to do more. Be thankful for where you are, but aspire to do more. That appreciation of gratitude has stayed with me over the years. What that allows me to do is to make sure that whenever there is a big success, I go back to our shareholders, our business partners, and I say it is your success. It motivates them to come back and do more. The reason I share this is I want to reiterate for entrepreneurs in this room, young entrepreneurs in this room, simple living and high thinking, sense of gratitude, and most importantly, never remembering that whenever you're successful, it's not your success, it's a success because of so many people around you conspired for your success. The second, I met a lot of people who are successful but want to help new entrepreneurs, people who are working in big tech, people who are working in large businesses here. So I wanted to share some of the things that I have been trying to do. I'm very thankful. I'm genuinely very thankful for the upbringing, for the value system, for learning that being an entrepreneur is valuable, but being an entrepreneur who does things the right way is even more valuable. Our state has many entrepreneurs. You hear about entrepreneurs in the last 10, 20, 30 years a lot more. But our state had entrepreneurs back in the day. I don't know how many of you know, Madhu Babu was the first entrepreneur from our state. And the one important learning that I wanted to take away from him and share with all of you, Madhu Babu was successful and he also failed sometimes. But he, in some way, demonstrated the power of failure. Before starting OYO, I failed a few times. Every time I failed, I was never disappointed. I was very excited because I took some learnings and used that to become more successful. So before starting OYO, I started an online marketplace where people can book homes, hotels, and so on. And I realized very early that there are many online booking websites. And that's why I'm not able to be successful in this online booking service. So maybe it is better for me to go deep into hotels and homes, standardize them, give a software to the hotel owners and the homeowners to help them increase revenue. And even if it means distributing through other online websites. So the power of two things. One, learning from the best and remembering and sharing the word that our state has had entrepreneurs who are not just par excellence in our state, but are icons for our country and the world, such as Madhu Babu. And one important learning from him is whenever you see an entrepreneur beside you or a professional who's not been very successful immediately, you should tell them or you should ask them, what did they learn from that failure, and use that to become very successful in the next time. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is how can you help? I try to go back home to Raigada once every few months. I take some of my colleagues, my friends also along to try and show them our place and share that there is more to our place than it just being a little town in Odisha. It's probably one of the greenest towns in our country. You have people who are very humble, probably not very rich, but nobody complains about not being rich. Everybody is very happy with their means. I was just listening to Swamiji's comment about the maid. You will find many people like that from the town I come from. People are happy, people care about each other, and everybody knows who the other person is because it's a small town. The way to help is to try and go back and do little things, nothing very significant. One of the things that I have tried to start is a small fellowship program where I give equity-free grants to little businesses started by individuals in rural parts to try and build their businesses by themselves, not just in Odisha, but across India. And fascinating kinds of new entrepreneurs have come up. Somebody who helps farmers to be able to sell their produce by digitizing and distributing it globally. Somebody who's able to take fishes from the fish farmers and helps them distribute online by building a deep freezer facility. And these are all entrepreneurs who started out of nothing. So I'd hope that, in whatever way you can, please try and take the initiative. Agar aapne shuruaat kar di, prarambh ho gala, if you start it, I can assure you that success is not very far away. I'll of course try and talk more later in the evening, but I want to share that I'm very proud of ODIAs as successful as they have become over the years. Rajiv at SoftBank is of course a shareholder in our company too. So I get to speak to him more often. But as you know, ODIAs are leading central banks around the world, not just in India, in Singapore and many other countries around the world. And of course, in various other parts in places as well. I want to end on a lighter note to share that I hope there are not many Bengalis in the room, but I want to share that I have a very strong view that Rasgulla started in Odisha. With that, thank you so much. Jai Jangannath. I look forward to speaking to all of you through the day.
Thank you, Ritesh. We are all so proud of you. I would also like to remind the audience that Ritesh will be in the fireside chat in the afternoon, so you can hear more from him. At this time, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of other dignitaries with us. Arun Sahu and Akash Das Naik, representatives from the government of Odisha, who have traveled a long distance to participate in this convention. Sushil Purohit, President of Wärtsilä Energy, is also engaging with us during this convention. Our sincere appreciation for gracing us with your presence.
Now, I request our very own Dipti Malik, President of the California chapter of OSA, to convey the vote of thanks.
नमस्कार ओसा कन्वेंशन 2020 को आपण मानकु मोर हार्दिक स्वागत एंड अभिनंदन अनेक नुआ पुराना चिन्ना अचिना मुह सब देखुची जो माने मते जानी नांती मु दीप्ति मलिक चैप्टर प्रेसिडेंट कैलिफोर्निया आपण माने जानी थिबे विगत 2 वर्ष हेला कोविड महामारी जगु आमे इन पर्सन कन्वेंशन होई पारु नथिला आज 2 वर्ष पर कैलिफोर्निया आम जब कन्वेंशन करूछु कोविड आतंक थमिनी तथापि भी समय आउ परिस्थिति तो निहाती बदली जहाँ आमको आज पुणी थरे एकाठी करिवार सुजोग देइछि जेतेबेले ओसा इसी अप्रोच करथिले कन्वेंशन करियाकू आम पाखरे 8 मास थिला हातरे विश्वास हेउ नथिला केमिति करिवे न्यूली इलेक्टेड मू इन माय टीम आवर कन्वेनर and especially our California members, my friends, took it as a challenge. एते बड़ आयोजन करिवार गुरु दायित्व नेला बेले जे आगे आसिले से होचंती आम 2 कन्वेनर रुद्रकर चितकांत पाणिग्राही Thank you. Would like to say thank you to both convener, all OSA California volunteers, and my friends. All my OSA California volunteers, they having a tireless sleepless night to make this OSA convention successful. Dirgha 8 masara rati dino lagi who made this impossible task possible, mu tanka pakhare chira krutagnya. धन्यवाद देवी ओसा आईसीस एंड ऑल ओसा मेंबर्स जे माने ए कन्वेंशन रे पार्टिसिपेट करी एठी उपस्थित अछंती जे माने किछि असुविधा पाई आसी पारि नांती किंतु तांका सपोर्ट आम संगे अछि तांको मध्ये मु धन्यवाद जणेबी। आशा करूछि आम मानकर एई प्रचेष्टा साधना परिश्रम सबुर मूल्य मिलिबो। आपण माने ए कन्वेंशन ने रहणी खूब एंजॉय करिवे आ कैलिफोर्निया रु फेरिला बेलकु मधुर स्मृति नहीं फेरिवे। जदि किछि त्रुटि रही जाए आमको क्षमा करिदेवे। मु आपण मानक पाखरे क्षमा प्रार्थना करूछि। वर्तमान हेउछि रथयात्रार समय। आमे आशा करूछु आपण माने समस्ते आमे गढ़ी थिबा संपर्क सेतु उपरे एक संपर्कर रथ टाणीवे सेही विश्वास रे मु रहूछि। जय जगन्नाथ। नमस्कार। थैंक यू।
Thank you, Dipti. Moving on to the next part of our program, we would like to request the OSA President, Vice President, and Swami Mukundanan to the stage.
बंधुगण शुभुची अच्छा आज आमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ओडिशा सोसाइटी ऑफ अमेरिका आमे बहुत कृतज्ञ टू डॉक्टर सितिकंठ दास वी आर ऑनरिंग हिम विथ आउटस्टैंडिंग बेनिफैक्टर अवार्ड विथ ए प्लाक तांकर जेतेबेले आमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जेतेबेले कौन प्रकार दरकार पड़ी भाईना सब देयर मु देखी आसूची अवश्य 40 वर्ष मु ओतप्रोत भाव में आमर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जड़ित किंतु जो एनी टाइम एनी फाइनेंशियल क्राइसिस ही इज देयर तेणु जितेबाला जाइचु केतेबेले नाही करि नांती सेइथिपई ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज ग्रेटफुल। मु ये अवसर रे आमर स्वामी मुकुंदानंद जी को अनुरोध करी डॉक्टर दास को प्लाक दे ऑनर करिया पे।
It is my honor and privilege to offer this Outstanding Benefactor Award plaque to Dr. S.K. Das for his magnanimous contributions to the OSA.
Thank you. This is a great honor to recognize me for my many contributions to Odisha Society of America. I have been involved with the Odisha Society of America since 1969 at a different capacity as a benefactor, as a chapter president, as president of Odisha Society of America. You just must be hearing for last three things. More school, मो कॉलेज किंतु आमे कही जानिने मो यूनिवर्सिटी होची मोर दिस इज माय थर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी। फर्स्ट यूनिवर्सिटी वी स्टार्टेड फकीर मोहन यूनिवर्सिटी सेटा को आपण मान को सहाय्य और सहयोग रे मोर लीडरशिप रे आमे फकीर मोहन यूनिवर्सिटी करि पारिछु। आपण मान को मोर धन्यवाद धन्यवाद धन्यवाद। तापरे हेची हमरो AIPH सेकेंड यूनिवर्सिटी मु चेयरमैन थी परे वर्षक पे थी किंतु तापरे जोटा पे आपण माने शुणिया पे चाहूँगी ये जो स्वामीजी आज तांको पेथरे कहुई से स्वामीजी को घर कौटी स्वामीजी को घर होची ओडिशा मो ओडिशा सेटा को जानिली केबे मु बहुत पछरे जानिली तांकू डका थाए मिनियापोलिस के मिनियापोलिस से कहबे कौन सी करुचुनी कौन करने लोक कहले कि एत तो स्वामी आसुनी ये कौन करेंगे छोटू ताकू मत कहला ठीक आप न कहले हिंदू मंदिर मिलबनी कि आसबेनि छोटू मुझे स्पॉन्सर कली and he mesmerized everybody at Minneapolis and attracted thousands of people to that event. That event, there I learned he has made Odisha as his own home, And then within months, he said, Dr. Das, you should not be just another person. You become the chairman and the chancellor of JK University. That university is called NRO University. That university is NRO University. And this is our called the battleground. We have to show and prove JK University is a model university because of our NRO's involvement and contribution. Any way you like to help, you can help. It is not money. It is the talent and expertise you can lend to that university. I think in a few minutes, you will be seeing a slide about JK University. And this university is ready to start the programs in 2023 in many areas. They are subject to change. Okay, let me tell you. Philanthropy and charity is nothing but contagious. If I can do it, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And that example demonstrated by somebody at JK University. You like to know. One guy was asking, he came to naturopathy therapy at the JK University, and they had a very good program, and he got cured. He asked Swamiji, how are you running this university? How are you running this university? He said, just I sell some books, I do some speaking, things like this. Now, that is not enough. Something must be there. He mentioned Dr. Das was helping me. What I mean to say, you know what he said? I am going to gift my sea beach hotel to you and next week. And he did. So now JKU has got another campus on the Puri beach. That hotel belongs to JK University and it is a good source of income. So what I'm trying to say, it is not one or two examples I did. There are many examples how people have been getting really excited. One thing I definitely like to say, what are the things we have done? We have done many things. You must be hearing, I am proud to say that I have been able to sponsor Swamiji for this event. It is not one. We have invited many speakers like Manoj Das, Pratibha Rai, and others. We have sponsored artists like Kulcharan Mohapatra, Sanjukta Panigrahi, and Aruna Mahanti, and many others. And we have singers like Prafula Kaur, Akshaya Mahanti, and those kind of people we have done. So now what I'm trying to say, it is a Odisha society support, Dr. Das Foundation support, we are preserving, promoting our rich heritage and culture. Again, I cannot do it alone. Together, we can do better. And here, one thing I like to say, this California chapter has did a great job and holding this convention. My sincere thanks to them. My sincere thanks to all those who are involved in California chapter and organizing this size event. Thank you, and thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Das. ମୁଁ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଆମର ଭାଇସ୍ ପ୍ରେସିଡେଣ୍ଟ ଅକ୍ଷୟାଙ୍କୁ ଅନୁରୋଧ କରିବି କଳାଶ୍ରୀ ଆୱାର୍ଡ ଆନାଉନ୍ସ କରିବା ପାଇଁ.
Hello. So we are very happy to announce this year's Kalasri Award winner as Mr. Dilip Acharya. He's a local person here. He belongs to San Jose, California, and he was selected by a panel of 5 judges. And We're very happy to announce the award. Thank you.